In this short video, I'm going to explain and illustrate the summation or sigma notation used in the statistical manual, and I'll use the formula for the mean as an example. It's one of the first we look at. In this formula, x with a bar over the top, x bar stands for the mean, n stands for the number of observations in the sample, x stands for a particular observation or any particular observation, and it has a little I which is used as a counter to indicate which observation we're talking about. And then finally the big sigma, which looks like a sideways M, tells us to add up. And sigma notation is very useful for writing in short form long sums, and for that reason it's very useful for dealing with samples. So we need a sample to work with, and we're going to work with a sample of crabs. So here's crab number 1, he weighs 165 grams. Crab number 2, 3, and 4. And we have the weight of all of these 4 crabs. Before doing anything else, we know something about the sample already, and that it is of size 4, n equals 4 observations. And we can summarize the information we've collected in a little data table like this. And in this table, the numbers on the top here are counters indicating which crab we're talking about. So they are the I values. The numbers down the bottom, of course, are the actual weights of the crabs themselves. So those are the observations. So the top number in the table is the I, the bottom number is the X, the observation. And all we've done, obviously, is transfer these values from the crabs into the data table, with crab numbers going on top and the weights going underneath. Now, back to our formula for the mean. I said summation notation or sigma notation is useful for writing long sums in a shorthand way, and we know how to work out the mean. Add up the observations and divide by however many there are, and that's what this formula is telling us. The first part there is where we divide by the number of observations, and the second part here is telling us to add up the observations. So let's expand it out, and this is what it'll look like. 1 over 4 times observation 1 plus observation 2 plus observation 3 plus observation 4. And so to use this formula, all we need to do is transfer the values of the observations down here into the locations in the formula. And so that gives us a formula that looks like this, where these are just transferred into their appropriate places. And the formula itself is just, as I said, telling us to add up the observations and divide by however many there are. So let's do just that. 165 plus 158 plus 163 plus 152 equals 638 divided by 4 equals 159.5. So we worked out the mean using the formula, and it's 159.5. The formula for the variance, which you'll also find in the manual, is similar, but it uses the observations squared. And so you'll see little squared signs written in the formula in the places I've done there.